All right, guys. It looks like people were telling me, Papa God, you can now dual stream on Twitch. And I was like, oh, do I really want to do that? And I'd consider it. I might have to get a new computer because I don't know how powerful your computer needs to be. But people referenced me and told me I should watch this Penguins video. I don't know why, Moist Critical video. Pick a name, am I right? Anyway, I'm curious. It's interesting because Twitch did allow people to stream across multiple platforms, kind of. I think a while back they said you could stream on Twitch and like an auxiliary platform, so like a TikTok stream or something like that, but not YouTube. And now it seems like they opened up YouTube. So let's see what we got here.
Title of the video isn't clickbait, it isn't sarcasm, it's not a practical joke or some kind of prank. It is the God honest truth. With my hand on a stack of Bibles, I
kind of wish that I would just fully bald already. Like, I feel like it's a cruel joke to be like, yeah, we're going to have you half bald. Like, just make me fully bald so I don't have to cut my hair. I still have, like, it's just weird, you know? Just all of it. Not the beard, but, like, up to here. Just stop, you know? This way I don't have to keep doing this. I don't have to keep cutting it.
Swear to you before the Lord and anime that I am being genuine when I say Twitch actually just made an incredible decision. We are witnessing history. I feel like some of the people that took the first manned airplane flight where
Hey, Papa God, I'm a big fan despite the fact that you're kind of fat. Well, I appreciate that, but I'm not kind of fat. So, thanks, brother.
What you have just experienced is a game changer, is super special, and you are part of history.
Yeah.
That's how I feel right now with this. A very rare instance where Twitch does something that I can't help but applaud and really appreciate.
So last year we updated our simulcasting policy to allow simulcasting on...
Should I just watch this fucking thing?
...on mobile services such as TikTok and Instagram. On my recent trip, a number of streamers talked about how they are leveraging these services to grow their Twitch community.
Yeah, I can't really use TikTok because I'll get banned off there for some of the stuff I talk about. It might be worth considering this dual thing for me. I just have to set up a bunch of stuff. I wouldn't really know how it would work, but I would potentially be into it.
So today we're taking this a step further and announcing that we are allowing simulcasting on any live streaming service.
Okay.
Daniel Clancy, you beautiful son of a gun. You put a smile on my face and made me wet. Now, for those that...
It's interesting because there's two different ways this can go. One way is people can use, YouTube. We'll go with YouTube and Twitch, but I guess Kick too, but let's just ignore that. People can make Twitch their main platform or YouTube their main platform, and they could use the other one to kind of siphon views over. And it's a very simple way that you would do it. You would just kind of encourage people to go to one platform or the other, or you'd pay attention more to the chat if you would want to. But because I don't know. I don't know if it's a good move for them. I'm just trying to think because I feel like everybody has YouTube. Not everybody has Twitch. So I feel like some people might be more likely to be like, well, I have a streamer that I like on Twitch. Maybe I'll just pop over and stay permanent on YouTube. I don't know. I don't know if this is good for but I think it's great for me. I might actually start doing it on the old Twitch, but I don't know. I don't know if it's good for them.
Don't know why this is such a big deal. I'll dive into it. But that right there is the new CEO of Twitch. He took over earlier this year. He replaced the previous CEO, who was extraordinarily hands-off on the platform. Many of you probably didn't even know Twitch had a CEO because this guy was more secretive than the elusive man. Like, this fucking guy seemed to be ashamed to be the CEO.
Bro, I don't know what's happening. My literal fucking forehead is blinding people right now. I'm getting so irritated. It's really pissing me off. I literally, look at this. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Wait, I'm so confused. People in debate space already stream on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. I did that back in the day. Yeah, okay, so it's not like illegal to stream on both Twitch and YouTube, but it is technically against the YouTube partner program. So if you're an affiliate or a partner and you stream on both platforms, they could take away your partnership on Twitch. That's how it is. So you wouldn't be able to make money on there anymore. That's what they're saying.
Of the platform. His name was Emmett Shear, or as I like to call him, Emmett, have no fear, I'm barely here, Shear. If you went to any of his socials...
Oh, that's a good point, too. The ads are going to kill them. Yeah, I mean, you might be like, well, I'm getting a ton of ads on Twitch. Why don't I just go pop over to YouTube? Because I'm not getting as many ads. It's a good point.
The long time that he was the CEO of Twitch, you would have no idea what his position was. Because he didn't talk about the platform, he didn't interact with it, he didn't stream on it, he didn't communicate with anyone on it. I'm pretty sure he doesn't even know who XQC is, even to this day, or Kai Cenat for that matter. Like, he doesn't know anyone on the platform, no matter how big they are. He just really, he treated his position as CEO of Twitch the same way I treated boners back in high school, like random erections, just trying to like hide it the best you possibly can and hope.
I never did that. I would always show my boner. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't, because when I stand up, I'm a big guy. When I stand up, kind of turtles itself back in. You know what I mean? Crazy.
Nobody notices. So Emmett Shear, for a long time, was CEO in...
YouTube has a huge ad problem as well? I don't think that's true. How does YouTube have a big ad problem? What do you mean?
Name only. I don't think he actually really did.
I feel like YouTube ads are not that bad. I've joined other people's streams before, and I've gotten like a 5-second ad before. I had to skip. I was like, okay, bye. I skipped it. I don't know if I don't think that you're right.
Anything for the platform except try and fucking flush it down the shitter. And earlier this year, he stepped down, and Dan Clancy, whom you just saw...
YouTube's got like the Toys R Us... Twitch has like the Toys R Us problem right now, where Toys R Us was cool, but it wasn't... I mean, you could buy shit, but it wasn't really a destination. Or rather, you want to know what's better? I would say Twitch has a mall problem. Malls or a library problem or anything like that. People kind of stay in their house now, and so they don't go places unless they're destinations, unless they're fucking cool, right? So you got to go somewhere fucking cool. You got to put like, if you put a pond in your Barnes and Noble, and people will go there just for the pond, right? And Twitch doesn't really have anything that you go to Twitch for. What is the point of going to Twitch? I feel like they got to figure something out there.
Stepped up. Now, when he first stepped up, I made this...
You got 3 or 4 minutes ads on my video, but can't you skip them, like, after 5 seconds?
Statement that he is an extremely nice guy. I had actually met Dan before he became the CEO of the platform, and I had nothing but positive things to say about him. But I did say that I don't see any big changes coming under his leadership, because I really don't believe that he had the capability to make big sweeping changes or improvements to the platform, because there's just so much red tape, and the inner workings of the company are more divided than my ass cheeks. Like, everything is so separated into their own departments, and no one really communicates with one another, so it leads to a lot of discrepancies and miscommunications, at least in my experience from talking to some of the employees and about how the sausage is made there at Twitch, you know, the behind the scenes.
Yeah, I have YouTube Premium, so I'm not a pussy, motherfucker. I think Twitch has their own kind of premium service like that, but the problem with Twitch is just that, like, you only go there to watch streams, you know what I mean? There's something different about YouTube. I don't know what Twitch could do to compete. They might want to host some kind of event for people, like, on the platform or something, like a Meet the Creators or some bullshit like that you would have to go there exclusively for. I don't really know what the fuck they could do.
Information and all of that. And to further explain, I'll go ahead and use my Twitch contract as an example. I actually talked to Dan directly about that, and he was super supportive of me canceling my contracts. That way I could explore streaming on YouTube. He was super enthusiastic about it. He understood, and he said he had his blessing, but it wasn't up to him entirely. It still had to go through all of the other teams and all the other filters, and that took...
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. You could always tell if a boss is good by how much they care that you leave in a weird way. So, for instance, I've had bosses where I was like, hey, I'm going somewhere else. And they were like, oh, cool. Like, we get it. That's awesome. That's fantastic. We respect it. We understand it. And then there are bosses who go into fucking crisis mode. They're like, oh, you want to leave? Well, I'm not sure you should do that, because, and then they try to get into your head and make it seem like everything's going to go wrong. That's, to me, that's like the sign of a good or versus like a bad boss, or at least one of the signs, because it's cool that when they're like, oh, I hate to at least see you leave, I miss you, hopefully you come back, that's great. But when they're like, fucking, like, you shouldn't leave and try to make you paranoid, that's how you know they're pieces of shit, that are, because all they care about at that point is that it's going to be inconvenient for them. So
an additional like 3 or 4 months, I think. I'm getting a little foggy on exactly the timeline now, since it's been a while, but the fact that Dan, being the CEO of Twitch, still had to go through 3 or 4 months for something as simple as canceling my contract, which was already kind of getting towards the end of its duration anyway.
Oh, well, that makes sense, though. It's a contract. It makes sense that they wouldn't necessarily cancel it.
Just led me to be more convinced that even if Dan came in with the best of intentions, which I really do think he did, that he wouldn't be able to make the changes that he'd want to see in the platform.
Sorry, did I hear that right? It's just weird.
the fact that Dan, being the CEO of Twitch, still had to go through 3 or 4 months for something as simple as canceling my contract, which was already kind of getting towards the end of its duration.
Like, it's a weird thing. The only reason I'm saying that it's a weird is because he's like, yeah, Dan couldn't cancel the contract that I made, so that's why I didn't think he'd be effective as Twitch. And it's like, well, that doesn't make any fucking sense to me whatsoever. You signed a contract. Yeah, I signed this contract that said I would stay for another 6 months, but they can't cancel it. So I don't like the guy who, like, it's just like, why would that make you lose confidence? You signed a contract. The fact that they even got you out of it early is fucking crazy to me. It's a contract. It's probably an exclusivity contract that's meant to be done for a period of time. I don't know. I feel like, why would that make you lose confidence in somebody? Because you, with your authority and your agency, signed a contract for a certain amount of time, and you're upset. And like, obviously, I'm not trying to like super shit on the guy or anything. I'm just saying, why would that ruin your confidence in this guy? He's on a fucking contract. Well, how is that a confidence? Like, I didn't think he could do anything effective because I signed a contract that you normally can't get out of, but he couldn't get me out of it. It's like, okay, crazy.
Anyway, just led me to be more convinced that even if Dan came in with the best of intentions, which I really do think he did, that he wouldn't be able to make the changes that he'd want to see in the platform.
Okay.
But boy howdy, I've never been happier to be proven wrong. Eating my own asshole has never tasted so good. It is great to
It's not a bad taste.
see Dan
Well, mine isn't. Well, maybe, his might not be either. I don't know.
actually being able to have a positive influence on Twitch. This is absolutely a decision that Dan himself would pitch. From our conversation, I know that this is something he felt strongly about, that streamers shouldn't be tied down to Twitch if they don't want to be. So it seems like he was able to.
I mean, the reality is it's just, I don't know how many people are left on Twitch. I don't know how many people are like left on Twitch. In the context of like, maybe I'm wrong. I feel like most people who are like, I don't know about Twitch, have already moved to YouTube or Kick or whatever. Because if anything, I don't know. For me, when I made the decision, I didn't want to lose my partner on YouTube Twitch, so I was like, I'll just fucking not stream there anymore, and I just moved to YouTube. I like the atmosphere better because it's better for like what I do, more social conversations and stuff. There's still some of the people. It's usually like a lot of younger guys on Twitch, which is cool, but not a lot of like people. This audience is different. It's not a bad audience, but there's more diversity. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just leave. So it was a choice of either Twitch or it was either like yes or no to Twitch. I don't know how many people are going to be like, all right, fuck it, let's just go to... I don't know. I feel like it's probably a positive decision. I know I'm rambling a little bit because I'm trying to parse through like a fucking point in my head about this change. My point is that it'll probably keep a lot of people who are considering leaving on the platform and possibly push people back to the platform.
Push this forward and make it come to fruition and make it a reality, which is absolutely incredible. And for those that don't know, Dan loves Twitch. Like, he lives and breathes the platform. He actively streams on there himself, just doing like some music. Like, he's like actually extremely talented, so he does some kind of fire.
Sounds like these guys are dating. What the fuck?
Streams. And he is very much a user of the product, enthusiastic about it. There's a Twitch, well, not a Twitch clip. There is a clip on Kick where one of the Kick streamers saw Dan just roaming around, and they said, "Oh, sorry, I'm live on Kick right now." And Dan goes, "You know what? That's your choice," and then gives him a high five and just walks away with a big smile on his face. He just seems to love streaming.
Yeah. What if Dan's like a real piece of shit, and he's just like, I'm going to act really nice so people will want to come back? That's a smart guy then. Fucking glare, man. I am getting very irritated with how much goddamn glare is on my fucking head.
He wants Twitch to get back to its former glory of being the best place to do it.
Sure. Well, I think back then they were like the only place to do it, right? So that was, maybe they could try adding video stuff there. Like, I know you can look at people's past live streams or whatever bullshit, but for me, it's like maybe Twitch should get a little more ambitious. Maybe Twitch should decide to go, hey, let me fucking be able to upload videos onto Twitch, make it an alternative platform to YouTube in some capacity. Maybe people will be more likely to kind of hang out there. That would be kind of interesting. It might be kind of cool.
And give everyone the freedom to stream how
permanently. That probably costs money because they have to have a server, but still, I think it's something to consider.
They want and where they want. And I couldn't be more ecstatic about that. So let's go over
the nicest people have the darkest demons. True. Because they're trying to hide their it's fucking clear. They're trying to hide their I don't hide anything, dude. I don't hide anything. I'm an open book.
Why this simulcasting change is so massive. Because it almost sounds too good to be true. For those that don't know what simulcasting is, it's the ability for you to start up a stream on multiple platforms.
Am I allowed to stream on Twitch and Pornhub at the same time? It's a real question.
Same time. And Twitch has always hated that. They hated simul streaming more than Timmy Turner's dad hated the Dinkelbergs.
So shut up. Weren't you just complaining about how you're not bald enough? Now you're too bald. No, my point is there's glare on my bald head. I was complaining that I have to cut my hair. I wish I didn't have to cut my hair. That was the point that I was making.
So
right, shut up.
They outlawed it. They made it against their terms. You couldn't simul stream. If you were doing a Twitch stream, it needed to be content exclusive to Twitch. You couldn't just have that stream being pumped out to a lot of other places, except for mobile platforms like Dan mentioned. They did eventually allow for that, where you could simul stream.
Yeah, because I don't think that they saw that there was any crossover necessarily in a negative way. Like YouTube, well, okay, excuse me, TikTok isn't necessarily a it's not a competitor to Twitch. It is, but it isn't. Like if you're on TikTok, you're less likely to go on YouTube or anything. But it's also a very different kind of a thing. You're not going to go to TikTok to replace the feeling that you get on Twitch. So I think that's where they're coming from, and it pulls people over. It's a great way. I mean, if you're streaming on Twitch, you should be on TikTok, because it also helps solve another problem on Twitch, which is lack of organic growth. Is almost, I feel like, pretty much dead at this point on most platforms. You can't really. It's so hard to organically grow. You you have to do something, and TikTok's a little different though, because it's so short form that. And it comes through your feed while you're scrolling on short form content, that you have a higher chance of people looking at you. And then if they see the stream, they're like, I kind of like this, they might put on Twitch and then still go on TikTok. Because like at this point now, I'll be on my fucking phone scrolling through TikTok while I'm watching TV anyway.
Your Twitch stream to mobile platforms, but you couldn't do that otherwise. Unless, of course, you were like a completely unaffiliated account. And even then, it's not like they really encouraged it. It was still very frowned upon. It was more forbidden than human transmutation and Full Metal Alchemist. Until today. This was like one of the main things I thought Twitch would never, ever even consider.
I mean, I feel like it was a logical next step. I mean, they don't know what else they can do. There's nothing. I don't know if there's anything innovative that Twitch could do to make you want to go to that space on the internet. So this is kind of the only thing they had left to do, is to, again, try to, well, I guess they want to try to become the Nintendo Switch platform. I don't know. They're an auxiliary platform. That's what they need to do.
Backing off on.
I mean, maybe they should include, I said before, they should do video uploading. That's not a bad idea. Maybe they should start with clip uploading or something. Trying to be a competitor to short form content like TikTok in a way where you can kind of scroll through Twitch on your phone. And maybe they do this already. I have no fucking idea. Where you can come across people's clips and kind of just look at them on your mobile phone. I don't really know.
I thought Twitch would always stick to their guns on simul streaming being against their rules. Because if you really stop to think about it, why would they? Twitch is still the #1 streaming platform.
Are they really?
And now if streamers have the flexibility to stream their Twitch broadcast to other platforms at the same time, why wouldn't they? There isn't a single reason why anyone on Twitch wouldn't also just stream to YouTube. It's the same content.
I guess that does make sense, but I guess it makes sense. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I feel like they are going down. That's probably the reason why, or they feel the shift in the wind and they feel like they need to be more competitive.
Just put it to two different places, so it just maximizes your reach and viewership, and it's just an overall net positive.
They just added Twitch Shorts. What is it, like stories? You said Twitch came out with stories. Interesting.
To the streamer, but doesn't really do a whole lot to help out Twitch that much. Unless, of course, you're mainly interacting with your Twitch audience, and like your YouTube streaming audience is seeing that, oh, the Twitch chat seems a lot more hype than the YouTube chat. I'll start going over there.
Yeah, that would be the goal. You know, that would be what they would want. If anything, actually, what Twitch might want to do to make it good, I don't know, figure out a way to encourage people to put the Twitch chat onto the page. You can obviously do that through some kind of a like OBS plugin or whatever. But if they make it easier, if they give you an option, this would actually be very interesting. If Twitch would give you an option to download through their service of the VOD with or without the Twitch chat to the side somewhere on the screen, if they could figure something out like that, that actually might be pretty interesting and cool. People might be more inclined to jump onto that, because then they'd be like, oh, look, there's a Twitch chat. Let me go jump in. Let me go see if I can find them on Twitch. Or you might know, oh, you'll be live if you're on. Some people like the fact that their comments might be seen live on videos. So that might encourage people to come over to the Twitch too if they're on YouTube, and if the YouTube or if Twitch can implement it themselves instead of you having to make the choice, they can make a little bit more control over that. Because if you can make the choice, you could just decide to put both on the screen for all the fuck you know.
Then maybe you do get some new users that aren't already endemic to Twitch. I think there's definitely a real case to be made there in that argument.
Oh, doesn't Twitch have things where you could press buttons on the screen? Like I've seen streams where you can like click a hammer and like bonk people or something silly like that. Maybe that'll help them.
And perhaps it'll be extremely effective. Like maybe if you're broadcasting your Twitch stream to YouTube and your YouTube audience is now seeing your stream for the first time and wants to get more involved, they'll go to Twitch because the interaction on Twitch is just genuinely better than YouTube, which is something I've talked about quite a bit at length now. So I do think there probably is a case to be...
What is going on here? I just went over to Twitch. What the fuck is this? So I'm looking at here and I'm like, oh, okay, some interesting Pokemon here. You got Asmongold over here. Live channels you think you'd like. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, maybe I would like this. And then I scroll down and it's like recommended just chatting channels. What the fuck, dude? What the hell? Why would you recommend this to me? Twitch? Why are all 5 of these? What the hell is this? Oh, well, fuck you. Not watching you now. Not watching you. Not watching you. I guess I could watch you. Nice. Not my first choice, but the only one that doesn't have an ad on it, of course. Whoa! All right, so we're covered, guys. Relax. We're okay. So, that's I guess. I guess that's just the average experience. I guess that's the average experience on there.
He made that this is a strong move for Twitch in order to continue to grow and stay on top. But regardless, it is by far the best move for streamers. And it's not like this comes with any like fine print or anything. If you go to the page that makes the announcement that really breaks down what you can and cannot do, they are very lenient. The only thing that they ask you not to do is try and drive your Twitch audience to other streaming platforms while you're simul streaming. So let's say you're streaming Twitch and YouTube. Instead of like saying, hey, Twitch audience, go to YouTube. You're going to like it better over there. We've got the hottest babes in the YouTube chat over there.
Nice.
So get on out of Twitch and go to YouTube. They don't want you doing that.
That's fair. That would be fair. That's a fair rule for them to say, hey guys, you could dual stream, but you can't like explicitly tell people they have to go to the YouTube channel or that they should in a way that tries to pull from Twitch. If you're like, hey, sub to my YouTube, I mean, whatever. Or if you're like, hey, sub to my YouTube, you could watch the stream there too if you wanted to. That's whatever. But I think in general, you shouldn't be like, just get the fuck out of here, go there,
They also don't want you like combining the chats into one for the stream because they want it to feel like if it's on Twitch, it is a Twitch production, even though it's other places. It is still like the Twitch audience is getting the most love, so that way you're still celebrating with the Twitch community. I guess that makes sense too, sure. Which I think are both very understable positions to have here for...
Well, that's their big pull, is like he was saying, the interactivity in the chat, apparently. So,
like the policy. There's really not much else. Everything else is kind of sunshine and rainbows from what I can tell. So, obviously, I'm going to start simul streaming YouTube and Twitch. I can finally...
Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to figure that out. Because one thing I like about Twitch, this is the thing that always bothered me about YouTube, is that YouTube takes so long to process so that you can download your VOD after the fact, and it's so fucking annoying. Where I started just recording the streams too, which is like a little extra stress on the computer, and I don't necessarily like that. But Twitch takes like an hour for your high-definition stream to be done processing, so that actually might be really cool if I could dual stream. It might be a little wonky at first, especially with the donations and stuff, because they're confusing to me and I'm old and dumb, but I think I might consider dual streaming. I might try to figure out how to put that up soon. Maybe on a day, once I feel like I don't have to stream for the day, I could do that. I also might want to get a new computer, but I probably don't need to necessarily.
Shake the cobwebs off of my old Twitch channel here, which has just been collecting dust. It was like that scene out of Toy Story where Andy says, I don't want to play with you anymore, and then drops him. That's what I did with Twitch. And I've been loving my time on
the emotes are superior, sure.
YouTube, but now there's absolutely no reason not to also stream on Twitch. I get the best of both worlds here.
Yeah, hey. That's what I say about trans women, brother. You know what I mean? You get the best of both worlds. You know what I'm saying, dude? Hey, nothing wrong with that.
It's fantastic. I started streaming on Twitch. I still loved Twitch, but I switched to YouTube because I wasn't confident in the direction Twitch was going at the time. But now I can do both. It feels great. Like, this is such a huge W move. It cannot be understated.
Big Rizzler W.
Just how big of a deal this decision is from Twitch. And man, absolute hats off to Dan Clancy on this one. Fuck
rats
yes.
off to you, buddy.
So
brother.
Definitely wanted to talk about this. I'll be doing my first simul stream tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know what time. Probably like
time to go onto Facebook Live, dual stream Facebook Live and Twitch, guy.
10 p.m. EST, somewhere in that general ballpark. So make sure to tune in if you want to see what this new experience is going to look like. I'm really excited, and this really gives me a lot of hope in Twitch actually, starting to steer the ship in the right direction again. So yeah, that's really about it. So yeah.
Cool beans. Cool.